Boom. Boom. Hi everyone, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. This video actually works out so well, and I was so happy and grateful when NCS got into contact with me and wanted to work with me. So if you're not too familiar about what NCS is like a 3 to 4 week experience where it helps you build your confidence, make sure that you have a lot of self-belief, you learn so many like skills about growing up, like cooking, life away from home, develop other skills that you may need in later life, you meet more amazing like-minded people, and it's just a great experience. Growing up, I would have absolutely loved to be in part of something like this. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I could come on like a couple of adventures with you or something like that. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? My channel is all about self-confidence, self-belief. You can do it. So when NCS came to me, I was like, yes, doing it, amazing. So NCS have come to me and have asked me what I feel makes me feel unstoppable. So as I said, this works nicely in the fact that I've recently moved out, and for me personally, anyone that knows me is the biggest thing, and one of the biggest things I've ever had to do, because at the end of the day, you can get support around yourself, but it is down to you, and throughout what you experience is all down to you. Now, I've been living in my flat for 7 months now, I think. Like, that's crazy to me. But yeah, I live on my own, and for me, this was such a massive thing. Like, I feel like I can do anything now. So I just wanted to take you through this video of what makes me feel unstoppable and how this can inspire you if you ever want to move out, if you are going to uni, if you're doing this, if you're doing that, anything under this sort of moving out belt, because it's a massive step, and I really feel like everything changes. So I have never lived away from home on my own before. I've been to uni, and I feel like that is a great stepping stone. But once again, it is completely different to moving out on your own, having to sort out all of this stuff, your own space. Living on my own does make me feel unstoppable, but there have been certain problems and hurdles and obstacles that I've had to face, like living on my own. I was feeling so proud of myself that I could be able to move out and, like, do you know what? Like, taking the first step into growing up, being an adult, and it's just like one of the biggest, best feelings that you can ever have. I was feeling independent. I just felt like I had my life on track. Because for so long, if you've been following my channel for a while, like, it hasn't been easy. It hasn't been an easy ride for me, believe it or not. So, like, everything was starting to happen, like, so quickly. And I was just like, oh my God, like, I'm gonna get my own flat. I feel like it's built my confidence and changed me as a person that I didn't think it would have, going into just renting a flat. Some people like, you're renting a flat, fine, that's fine. But if you've never done it before and you're doing it on your own, it's scary, but it's also exciting. And I learned a lot about myself. I want this video to be completely raw and honest, so I am going to admit to how I felt and what it was like for me personally. I know that everyone's journey with moving out is going to be different, but this is mine, and I really hope it can help. As time went on, and the sort of like amazing feeling of being able to buy stuff for your flat and like to have all your own little spaces, I think that wore off after like the 3rd month, and I became quite lonely, which is something I've spoken about openly to my viewers and to my friends and family so much recently. And this is something I don't want to take or speak about lightly, because I feel like there's so many different types of loneliness. You can look at someone and feel like they have like amazing friends and they have like an amazing job and support group and family, but I feel like I am that person, but I feel incredibly lonely sometimes. And I read a comment on one of my other videos, and it's just a part of life. I can feel really isolated because it's just me on my own. Like, I've got friends that do the same job as me, but they live quite far away, so it's not like I can just pop round, do you know what I mean? And then my parents are doing stuff, and I can always go around and see them, but like, I don't want to be going back to my parents every day, because, you know what I mean? So it is hard for someone like me who doesn't really have any friends who don't work 9 to 5, which is fine and that is normal. But that doesn't stop me from feeling lonely and isolated sometimes. It also has made me think about more stuff. Like, I'm on my own, I'm pottering about. Obviously I can watch TV and do stuff like that, and obviously when I'm working and doing my job stuff and going for meetings, it's fine. But in the time where I'm not wanting to watch TV or anything and I just wanting to chill, I have a lot more time to overthink things. Moving out is a lot more than just moving out, especially if you're doing it on your own. I have learned so much about myself that I didn't think I could possibly learn anymore. And I know I sound like bloody philosopher, but it can be scary. It's also been interesting and it has been exciting. I've been able to have my own space and have friends around and people stay over whenever I want, and like people just come round, and it's just so great. But then again, I don't want to shy away from reality. Because if you are thinking of moving out, the last thing I'd want you to do is move out and be like, this is what it wasn't cracked up to be, this is not how Mark described it. I feel like it took a lot of work to get where I am, because obviously like money doesn't come out of thin air. Like obviously I had to work for so long and like do bits and bobs and save to make sure that I could afford rent every week. Well, every week, but I pay it every month. I knew deep down that me moving out was something I had to do for my relationship with my parents, which wasn't never bad at all. I just felt like I was at the perfect point in my life where I was like, right, that's it, this is my next step. I love you, mum and dad and Teddy, but I've got to leave. I think you just know, I feel like you should never rush into it, but my time, I was twiddling my thumbs and I was like, I've got to do it. I knew deep down that I made the right decision, even though it was sad, like moving out my family home, like of course that's sad, but they're literally around the corner, so it's fine. But I knew from that point, from telling my parents that I decided to move out, that I had to act like a grown up, prove to them that I could afford it, prove to them that I was able to do it and I was like okay with doing it. And I feel like I can be mature. I am like a mature person when it comes to serious stuff, obviously. Then it was down to me to find the flat, which takes a long time. It needs to be perfect. Then it was also me trying to find the time to get a viewing. And I just felt like a proper grown-up, and I never felt like I'd have to be this person so soon. But yeah, I sorted out the estate agents, the viewings. I was like doing things last minute, getting up and being like, right, I'm gonna go see this flat and seeing what's what, asking all the right questions. And I just felt like it whooshed over me, and I was just like no longer just crazy fun Mark. I was like crazy fun Mark who's like, right, I'm taking the next step in my life. I'm gonna move out. I've got to do this, otherwise it's not gonna happen. Obviously, when I was talking to my parents about it, thoughts and feelings were going through my mind that I hadn't necessarily thought of, like, is this the right choice? Am I at the right time? Will this benefit or improve my life or not? Like financially and like mind-wise. I'd have to make a lot more effort into looking after myself. Like with food shops, what to buy, how to stay healthy, how to stay motivated. It was so important for me to be like, if this is gonna happen, I'm gonna have to make some sacrifices, and that's what I did. But I feel like with anything, these obstacles were something that I was willing to jump over, because this is what I wanted. This was the next step. This was like the sort of independence I never could have at my parents' house. Like, I do want to touch upon the downside of it, because I don't know, I think it's important. Like, obviously there are emotions that came with it in the first few months after I sort of settled in. I felt like I constantly needed to be around people to be happy, and obviously I'm definitely an extrovert. If you see that description in the dictionary, it's a photo of me. I love being around people, I feed off people's energy, it's just what I love. I don't have that much social interaction during the week unless I've got meetings and stuff, and I've got stuff to do. So I'm like, oh my god, let's do this, do that. And like, if my friends couldn't make it, I'd get really sad. I still do, because I still want to see my friends, but not as bad as it was. And that's something I've had to overcome, because I felt like I was getting too needy to see people, which isn't good. But I was so open about it. I've been so open about this, and I think, like, as I always say, whatever you're going through, the fact that you can speak openly about it is the best medicine, and I highly advise you, moving out or not, this video aside, if you are going through a tough time and there's people you can trust, open up. But now, like 7 months on, I'm in the best place I could be. I am doing a lot more in my spare time, rather than watching TV and watching Netflix and playing this, I'm going out, I'm doing stuff, I'm being active, start working out again, start painting. I'm just gonna do these little things that are gonna keep my mind occupied when I'm not working or going to meetings and stuff. This is why I feel unstoppable. This is why I feel like so confident now that I can do anything. Like, I'm just so excited to be able to pack all this stuff up and move to my next place. I'm ready. Like, I feel like I've got that confidence that I've never had before. And I feel like there's certain things you need to go through to get that confidence, because you'll never know. I feel like certain situations do build you as a person, and you can't buy that sort of experience. I do love my own company, of course, and yes, it's not perfect all the time, but like I said, I've really worked hard into getting myself into a better place. These are the things that they don't teach you when you're moving out, and I think it's so important to know these things. If there are other things going on in your life, apart from moving out or whatever, you can feel unstoppable too. You've just got to keep going, push through. We've only got one life. As I said in numerous videos, don't put other people's opinions into your happiness. Make sure you're doing everything you can to live your best life. Also, moving out and living on your own is relatable to NCS, because by week 2, you are going to be living on your own and learning food skills and like cooking for yourself, which is amazing and relates so well to what I'm talking about. So this will give you that first little push. It will just give you a little taste of what independent living's like. And I swear to you, you're gonna love it. I strongly urge you to sign up to NCS, because these are life-changing moments that I feel like without these experiences, you'll never know. Like, growing up, I did do similar things like this, but nothing like NCS can offer you. So I urge you to go, click the link in the description, sign up, and make sure you feel unstoppable too. I've had such a good time explaining and, sorry about the sirens, and just opening up about what it's really like moving out on your own, especially if you're doing like not your average job as well. So I really hope this helps. Just remind yourself that you are never alone with anything. I'm always here for a little chat. Make sure you get involved in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I shall see you very soon. Bye bye. Bye bye.